Behind me is my 1997 BMW E36 M3 build. My name is Denver. I'm a client advisor at Parkview BMW in Toronto, Canada, and I do bring you guys a lot of new vehicle information for BMWs, but I am a BMW enthusiast and I do have a passion for BMW, and it all started with the E36 chassis. Now, recently I did a lot of stuff to get this vehicle ready for the 2022 season, as I plan to do a bunch of time attack events with the car. Main thing on my list was getting a brand new bucket seat and tackling a few issues that I had with the vehicle. So let's rewind the clock and show you guys all the footage I took months ago and what I went through to get that car ready for the season. E36 stored away at the back of the shop there. I have a couple things that I need to tackle to get the car ready. I've been getting a diff bushing sound, like the diff bearings are worn out. So one of the things on my task today is pulling out the rear differential from the vehicle, dropping that out, and then rebuilding the diff. I ordered in a bearing and bushing kit as well as the limited slip clutch plate so I can refresh that as well while it's all pulled out. Couple of things on my task. I did purchase a Mishimoto aluminum radiator earlier, so I do plan on dropping the rad out, replacing the aluminum, the Mishimoto expansion tank. And I do have a couple other plans for the car. I don't know if I'll get around to it, but I know one of the things I need to fix is going to be the driver's window. Right now it's disconnected. You can simply just put it down like that. So I gotta retrack it inside. And then another thing I wanna upgrade is the seat on the inside. So currently this is my driver's setup. I have this bride reclining seat. I'm trying to source out a full bucket seat, and then I'll move the bride seat over the passenger side so then it will hold me a lot more in place. Maybe a harness bar or half roll cage with a 6-point harness to really hold me in place there and help me out while I'm on the track. Because I always find I am sliding down. I'm always like pushing myself back up. I don't feel like I'm held in properly enough. I definitely want to upgrade that for a full season. Today is March 31st. It's the last day of March. I have got 2 months to get the diff rebuilt to get the car ready for the, I think May 29th CSCS opening track event. So let's get to work. Alright, let's take a look underneath here.
So sad to see that when I built this car like 5 years ago, all of the seals have gone because, well, it's a BMW, so there's oil everywhere. Yeah, let's work on getting this diff pulled out. I guess the first thing I'll do is drop the exhaust system, drop the sway bar mount, just lower that down. Get working on the half shaft bolts and the front drive shaft bolts, and let's get to work.
All right, so now that I have tackled getting the diff out of the car, I think I'm gonna start on the front radiator and try and get that out. Let's go. All right, so the radiator is out. This was the setup that I had. So I had the stock radiator, the stock strand found, and then I had a spowl fan wired in there and just kind of tethered in there. Not securely very much. I guess it could have been a lot better. Stock expansion tank. So my plans are to put in a Mishimoto rad. I got the Mishimoto expansion tank, move this over, and then I figured, since the AC doesn't work still, there's some small leak in the system, I don't need AC this year. We're going full track mode. I'm gonna rip out the condenser, the lines, the AC pump. I'm gonna take out all of the AC components to at least lose a little bit of weight on the front. Just get rid of any stuff that's unnecessary. So that's my next step, is just pulling out all of the AC stuff. All right, I am back at the shop. It's time to continue working on the E36. It's Good Friday. It's April 15th, so it's been a little while since the last time I was at the shop when I pulled the diff out, I pulled the rad out, and did all of that stuff. And I am back with a lot more stuff, and let me walk you through everything I brought to the shop today. So the thing that I'm most excited for is the brand new fixed bucket racing seat. It is a seat belt, Titan seat, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. If you guys have been following me on TikTok, you know I was trying to source out an M2 CS racing seat. Unfortunately, that one was on back order from Germany. No idea when the ETA was, and I need to get this car ready for the May 29th CSCS time attack season. So Randy at 11th 10th Racecraft actually hooked me up with this awesome spell seat. It's almost the exact same as the Taurus. I find the only thing that really looked different was the Taurus had the halo in it. If anything, this is a little better for me since I plan on street driving the E36s to my events, not trailering it. So maybe it'll keep me out of trouble. Hook me up with a great price. So thank you, Randy at 11/10. If anybody needs any parts, he got a lot of aftermarket parts, seats, belts, pretty much anything. Like, his showroom was phenomenal, and I'll definitely be going back there the next time I need parts. While I was there, I also picked up the Sabelt side mounts from him, as well as the slider as well. And then I ordered in a planted seat bracket. Now, the seat bracket is actually for the passenger side because I already have the bride seat that's inside the interior with the driver's bracket. So my plan is to put the fixed bucket seat in the driver's seat, take the bride seat and put it into the passenger side. So that is where this seat bracket comes in, is actually for that bride seat. Another thing that I'm super pumped on is the harnesses. So I was able to order up these pink harnesses. Right now, I'm a pretty big fan of Adam LZ, and he actually just dropped that collab with like Yoshi something with his pink harnesses. And I was actually gonna get those, and then I looked them up, and they're like $600 American. It was a little outside my budget, so I looked around, and the only other pink harnesses I could get was from a brand called STR. They are certified and everything like that, so it's pretty good. I'm pretty excited for those matching set of pink harnesses. Are gonna look super dope in the car. I got a 6-point harness for the driver's side and a 4-point harness for the passenger side, since the bride seat is not a fixed bucket seat and does not have that lower section for the 5th or 6-point harnesses. So 6-point, 4-point for the passenger, I think will be a pretty good setup. The other things I brought with me today was an air filter. So I figured while I have everything torn apart, I have easy access to the air filter. I'll change that out since I haven't changed it in like 4 years since I got the car. Then I got the Mishimoto aluminum expansion tank, which will match in with the aluminum rad, which will be perfect. And my differential bearings came in. I'm gonna pull apart the diff, get it to the point where really all I need is the bearings pushed into place, and then I'll take that to work and they will help me out with the equipment that they have there. Probably be the best thing to do and the most cost effective, instead of paying somebody $500 to $600 to build a diff, which I feel like majority of it I can get done myself. If you guys have been watching the video this far, I just want to say thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all your support. If you can do me a favor and just smash that like button, helps you out with the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing to the channel for more future awesome BMW content. I also do a lot of giveaways on TikTok, other YouTube videos, but for this video, since you guys have made it a few minutes into it, I am going to be giving away some of the new Parkview BMW lanyards. So if you drive a BMW, you like lanyards, you'll love this with the Parkview BMW logo and the M logo. It's absolutely phenomenal. So code word for this video is going to be lanyard. Send me a DM on Instagram with the code word and your shipping address. Let's say the first 5 people that make it to this part in the video switch over to Instagram, send me a DM. I will give you a brand new lanyard. I'll ship it out to you guys wherever you are worldwide. So just DM me with the keyword lanyard and you got free Parkview BMW lanyard. I also added 2 more things to my list. So brake lights, I gotta make sure all 3 of my brake lights are working. Right now, I only have 1 working, so I gotta touch up the other 2. And then just a brake service. I'm just gonna take the pads apart, lube up the calipers, make sure they're ready to go for the season. All right, now let's get back to working on the differential. This is the one that's currently in the car, and this is a brand new one. I would say that's done, absolutely done. Brand new one, done. Okay, so that's about as far as I'm gonna go with my differential. So I pulled out the center, replaced the limited slip differential friction pads. Now what I need to do is pull out these bearings on the top and the bottom, replace them with the new bearings, and then I also got to do the bearing ring in race or whatever inside those. And then in the main diff housing, there's a front bearing right here, and then there's a medium bearing right there. So I gotta replace those bearings as well. You can see one of them is right there, then the other one goes right there. I don't have the tools to get that done at my shop, so I'm gonna take these parts into work, and at some point I'll get a mechanic to help me out and put that all together. I might be able to get a video of it, maybe not, so we'll see. Now that I'm done the differential, it's time to get working on some other things on the E36. First thing that I'm very excited for is this seat. So I'll give you guys quick little images of me putting it in there, but majority of it's gonna be on this other video right here. Let's get into it. Here we go with the belts in. Driver's seat is in place. Passenger seat is in place. That took me probably 3 or 4 hours. Well worth it. This seat is phenomenal. I just have the harness there just to get an idea what they look for. So now I'm going to pull the seats back out, put them to the side, and then I'm going to pull up the carpet so that next time Marcus comes, he can start welding in the mount points. So I have all these mounting plates as well as the eye hooks for it as well. Okay, so while I was doing an inspection underneath the car, I was pressing up, I felt like a soft section for like rust. So I'm pulling apart the carpet here, and oh yeah, we got a lot of rust to take care of. Oh, that's not good. It's literally flaking away. See if I can jam the light. It's literally flakes. And then I can even put my finger like in here. So I need to pull this wiring harness away. Where was the spongy section of this? Oh, I can see the floor. I can see right through that area right there. I think this was the spongy section I was hitting up underneath. So I'm gonna take my friend Marcus to weld that up. I'm gonna pull all this out for him. And I also noticed these wires pretty frayed right here. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of like clean those up, or at least figure out what they're for and maybe just clip them. Maybe I don't need them at all. Probably a lot of wiring that I don't need anymore. This car already had rust patches back here that we patched on both of those sides. I like to call this car patches, all the rust patches. Welcome to Canada. Okay, I have got the carpet removed. So I got full access, everything here. I can see every single section that's rusty. And we're gonna take care of it. That's the soft patch that I felt. And oh my God. I am happy I discovered this before I started the season. So I can take care of it right now. Oh my God. That's fucked. That is fucked. And then also, I didn't even know. Also, a good thing I decided to take the whole freaking carpet out because this side also rusty. Also bad. So, yeah. Gotta get that taken care of. That's for damn sure. Okay, it's now April 28th and I'm back on a Thursday working on the E36. I got a couple new parts I brought with me and I got the differential back from being rebuilt, and that's what I'm working on today. So I ended up paying a transmission shop to put my differential back together because my store couldn't handle it. Just with they said something about the pinion bearing clearance, some stuff that I don't fully understand. So I have got the differential that I'm ready to go back in. I didn't get any footage of it being rebuilt, which is sad, but we'll just move on. I did pick up from my work the differential oil. This is what I'll be using. So I just got to top it up and then throw it back into the E36. And then the differential is complete, which is pretty exciting because that was the main task of getting the car ready. And then everything else I've done has just been pretty much overkill. I also got some castor oil. We're gonna do the oil change on it. I forgot to get the filter, so we're just gonna drain out the oil today. These are the other new parts that I brought. So the most thing that I'm excited for is this NRG quick release. So I'm gonna be installing that today, super pumped for it. I had to do a little bit of electrical work. I was running low on some shrink wrap and I went to Canadian Tire to buy some and it was really expensive. And then I looked on Amazon for shrink wrap, the fuses, as well as a crimp tool, because I seem to have lost my 3 of them, I don't know. And they were like, it was like 30 bucks for all of this when it would have been like nearly 100 bucks at Canadian Tire. So it just wasn't worth it. The reason that I need the electrical stuff is because I've been working on the tail lights and the left one was always getting shorted out. So I snipped the brake line. I think it has something to do with these extra wires that somebody soldered in. And then this side also has the wires and stuff, and I was snipping lines. So I got to put the lines back together, and I realized I better use a proper tool instead of the X-Acto knife I'm getting me by. I ended up ordering new taillights, so we'll go over that in the later part of this video. And the other parts that I got were a new sway bar mount point, because this one just got shredded for some reason. So we're going to fix that up. And then I got some trim pieces. So trim pieces, I've been missing this one. So I'm going to drill a hole through it, put that in place. And then the other one I ordered is the M3 one. So when I get to the track, I'll basically just quickly pop this one out, comes out pretty easily, and then pop that one in for better photos on the track day. It was only like 20 bucks, so I figured why not? When I ordered it into my work and ordered that straight in from Germany, thankfully these ones are pretty quick to get. And the other things that I ordered were fog light covers. So my driver's fog light is good to go with the air filter. My passenger fog light is like wiggly. It doesn't really stay in place. So I ordered these to replace it, and 2 were the same price as getting 1. So I figured I'll just get 2 and then I have a spare. So the first thing I'm going to start working on right now is the NRG quick release, because I am super pumped for that. And then I'll get into the differential and a bunch of other things. I recently got this shirt from Dynamic Euro Customs in Toronto, and I didn't realize it till after I started wearing it. It's an E36. I'm a big fan of E36s. So if you guys are in Toronto and you need any Euro help or anything like that, check them out. Dynamic Euro Customs. All right, now let's get working on installing this quick release. Is done. This thing is sweet. I absolutely love it. One thing that happened though was this piece was getting sandwiched in between here, and this little lip was not letting it go flush. So I had to remove that. And then when I removed that, the Momo steering wheel or steering horn button, it does sit in there. So now it has nothing to like hold it in place. So next time I come, I'll just have to get a little bit of super glue and just kind of, dab the super glue and put it in place like that. But other than like that, it is a big success. Locked in, I love it. It's gonna bring the steering wheel a little closer to me once I have the bucket seat back in. And then just getting out with the bucket seat, I have to slide it back every single time. I don't really want to do that. I want to leave my seat in the same positioning so that now I can get in and out without having to move the seat. So that's fantastic. On to the next thing. Okay, so I just got the fog light out and the cover put in. As you can see, trash. And then I drilled that. I got that in place. So what I decided to do with the right one, because that's how I have my air intake, I don't like when it's raining. So I trimmed a bunch of it away. I put it in there like that. And then I have this little screw that I can just by hand put it in enough. That'll hold it on rainy days if I need to drive in the rain. And then if it's not, then I can just pull that out and I can just leave this in my glove box. So I didn't put the diff in because there is a second dust seal missing here, and I left the box of all the spare parts the transmission shop gave me at home, silly me. So I gotta wait until next weekend to put the diff in. So I found these on Kijiji. These are E36 330i front brake calipers, and I'm just gonna stash them to the side so that the next time the E36 needs a brake job, we're gonna upgrade the bigger calipers as well. Since I wasn't able to put the diff in, I worked on getting rid of a bit more sound thing in there. And then I also did all of the harness mounting points for the rear. And then I did the side one as well. So we just have 6 more to install, 1 on each side of the transmission tunnel, and then 2 here on either side for the lap belt. Okay, Marcus has joined me and we're working on getting those patches cleaned up. This is where we made off for the day before we ran out of the MIG wire for the welder. Marcus will be back next Sunday to finish everything up. Did you have fun, Marcus?
No, not at all.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it's May 15th and I'm back at the farm. I brought some new parts with me. The NRG harness bar came in, so we're gonna be installing that today. And then I got new taillights that come in. The main thing I like with these taillights is that they're rewired and not the shitty BMW design that I personally hate. Going racing and everything like that, there's a safety check and they're gonna require all my brake lights to work, which makes sense when I'm on the track. And now, as you can see, the wires, somebody has soldered in the wires here because of this shitty connecting plate. And I think it's shorting it out. So the new taillights are only 150 bucks. I would rather just plug in those taillights, see if that fixes the problem, if it stops blowing the fuse, and then maybe it's a grounding issue right here with the wiring. Or else I'm just gonna have to kind of like rewire the brakes, check out the line from the front to the back to see if it's clipping anywhere on the chassis. I figured I'd switch out the new brake lights before I do all the hard work of searching the chassis. So we're gonna plug in the new brake lights, see if it works. If it doesn't, I got a hard electrical job ahead of me. Okay, so I would think I'm right. I think this was what the issue was. I plugged this in, I tapped the brake pedal, the fuse never went. So I think that's fixing it. I'm just gonna put it all back together and hope the fuse doesn't blow. Fuse does blow at some point, then I'll have to come back and reassess, but I'm pretty sure these taillights fix it. I know they're not the cleanest OEM design looking ones, but honestly, I don't really care. They were the cheapest ones that didn't have the same pattern, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to fix out this shitty BMW electrical design plate, and I have the solution, only for 150 bucks. All right, now it's time to put the differential back into the E36. All right, let's give you guys an E36 update. The CSCS time attack is 2 days away. The car is very far from being finished. We had some problems with the power going out in Kawartha Lake. So last Sunday when we came to work on it, couldn't get anything done. Yesterday on Thursday when we came to do it, couldn't get anything done. No power, no welding. Marcus got to finish welding up the floors. I'm gonna show you what we're doing. So Marcus is about to finish welding up on the driver's side. I have been cutting apart the passenger side. I'm trying to prep, get this side ready so he can start welding. We have the harness bar to finish up. Basically after that, we got to put the whole car back together. I got to put the normal rad back in since the aluminum rad didn't show up. I got to put the seats back in. So right now we're just focused on getting those patches basically welded up and patched, and then we just got to shove everything back inside the car and put it all back together. Okay, so it's like 7:30. Marcus and I are exhausted. He finished up the passenger side. Looks fantastic. No more Flintstone mode. The driver's side is done and painted. Tomorrow when I come back, I will paint the passenger side. Also got the harness bar finished installing. I just need to set the height adjustment for where my seat will be. At the front, I was putting my stock rad back in because the aluminum didn't come in on time, and of course had a break on me, so this little nipple broke here. I screwed in this brass piece. Tomorrow I'll get some epoxy and I will just jam it in there and hope that makes it through Sunday, and then by the next event I'll have the aluminum rad. And then I also broke this nipple too on this thing, so I don't know how I'm gonna fix that, but I gotta find a solution to that. Overall, I'm just super happy Marcus was able to finish up the floors. Tomorrow I'm coming back and I basically have to put the whole car back together, put the interior back together, put the seats, do the mounts for the harnesses, just finish all that stuff up and just make it a car again, and hopefully get it ready for. Okay, I'm at the farm again. We're getting work on the E36. I just got here and I realized I have a lot to do. I've got to paint over the passenger side. Driver's side's done. Then I have to take all of the interior parts, the carpet, the seats, put everything back in. When I put the back seats in, I also need to cut slits in the back seat for the harnesses. I need to adjust the harness bar. Then I need to put the seats in. Teresa's here, she's studying. She wanted to keep me company. Got to put the harnesses in. And then what else do I need to do? The wire cable back to the battery, finish that. I got to service the rear brakes before I put the tires on. And then at the front, I just have to plastic weld this up, put the intake back together. I can close the hood, put the grill back on. Oh, there's a band belly that I got to put on there. Oh, I got to put the exhaust system back on the car. Get all this interior stuff in, top it up with coolant. Yeah, I still need to install these for the driver's crotch mounts. Got all day to get it done before the race tomorrow. Best of luck. It's 3:30 and it's time to put the exhaust in. I'm gonna give you guys updates on putting the car back together and what time it takes me to do it, and we'll see how long this takes me.
351 and the exhaust is in.
Up next is the front bumper underbelly pan or whatnot, so I'm gonna put it in. Let's go. It's 5:30 and I finally have the belly pan installed. It took me a little bit longer because I had to get a bolt that wasn't connected last time, and then I remembered I also had to do up some engine based stuff, so I put the intake together, the rad, I kind of marine plastic welded this, and before I had this air sound, no air sound now, so looks like everything in the engine bay is put together. Everything down here is put together. The brake ducts are in as well, so I'm pumped with that, and I think I'm gonna start on the interior now. Okay, so I gotta relay all the wires, vacuum, clean it out. I've got the rubber spray over the patch welded up, so now I'm just gonna restart laying the wires, get everything plugged back in, and then get the carpet in. It's 6:30 and I'm just about to put the carpet inside. I got this little piece of carpet in, I got the back seat in, the seat belt's bolted in, I got the wiring kind of pretty much laid out how it needs to be. I test fitted my seat and then I drilled in the crotch harnesses right there. It's 8:15, carpet's in, interior is all in. Just took freaking half an hour to put this trim piece in. Had to cut it out back here, had to cut it out back here, put a couple screws in it to hold it in place. Now we continue on. It's 10:22, I'm exhausted. I stopped filming so much updates because I just want to get it done. Everything is done, interior, seats are in, harnesses are set up, harness bar is set up. I cut through the seats. So it actually looks pretty good with the stock seats back in there. Side skirts back on, tires back on, everything is done. Just gonna lower it to the ground, take it for a quick test drive. I don't even have time to give this thing a car wash for the event tomorrow. All right, it's 10:45, we're heading home. I test drove the E36, everything's good. No differential bearing noise anymore. That seat's phenomenal. Car's running great. Time to head home. We're gonna get home at midnight, fall back asleep, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive back out here and then head to Mossport. Okay, so that's all the footage I have rewinded. The last day that I was putting it together, I actually went 11 hours straight. It was the Saturday before the Sunday event at CSCS. So I kind of like dropped the camera and I was just hustling to get it all done. That just included putting the whole car back together, putting the seat in place, putting the energy harness bar, putting the carpet in, just putting everything back together and tackling it. So I was actually very happy I was successful in getting it all ready on such that short time frame. After Marcus welded up the floor panels, I was able to just tackle everything, get it all in. Unfortunately, I did not make it to the first CSCS event. I did get out to some open lapping the other day. That footage is up on my YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out as well. Okay, so here's the current setup for the E36 now that I went through everything. We have the brand new Sibel racing seat. Thank you to 1110 Mod for hooking me up with that. With the Momo steering wheel that I stitched up myself, the new NRG quick release, a short shifter there, bride seat on the passenger, STR pink harnesses, NRG harness bar at the back. Got some M pedals, mainly everything else that I did. Not too much for aesthetics of the vehicle. As you'll see, the paint, it's nothing to special about. The hood is actually peeling here. Instead of fixing it, you know, I kind of like it. Gives the car some character. But yeah, I'm not too much on any of the aesthetics. Everything that I do goes into the performance of the car. Still need to get this clip fixed over here. So this is the S52 engine. I have the full M50 intake manifold conversion kit, silicone intake with the air filter all the way down. Fog light's been removed, and there's a tray in there to push up for the air filter. Exhaust manifolds are stock, but then a straight pipe the exhaust the rest of the way. Mishimoto expansion tank. I do have an aluminum rad. You'll see what happened to that in the video. And then I do have the power steering reservoir AN line kit relocation kit. Used to be over there. Now it's over here. As for the radiator, I actually just got the brand new radiator over there. So there'll be a later video coming on that soon. As for the rest of the vehicle, full solid mounts, polyurethane bushings everywhere. Every bearing got replaced. Style 66 wheels. And then I rebuilt the diff because it was making some noise. So everything's pretty fresh on the E36. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys appreciate this E36 content. If you want to see more E36 content, subscribe to the channel. If you made it all the way this far, smash the like button. It does help me out. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the future.